Alright guys, welcome to part 3. It's been a while. This is Lennox Bennett, your presenter. Welcome to my channel. If you have not subscribed, you know you're supposed to subscribe. Alright, so let's go. If you have not looked at part 1 and part 2, I would suggest that you go back and do so. Alright, so it says 47, so we're at 47 on January 12, 1994, a merchant purchased goods amounting to $120 on the following terms. 5% cash discount is paid within 30 days. It says it is date on February 28th. So be mindful of the dates. How much did he pay? Now, if you investigate and realize that it was January 12th, so if he had 30 days, it would have been before February 12th. Now, he did not make payment within the 30 days, so he would have paid the $120 just to see it. So he would not be eligible for the discount. Right? Let's move on to 48. As I say, guys, if you're just joining, hit the like button. Morris purchased 1,000 worth of furniture for office use and entered in the journal as purchases. How will this error affect the balance sheet? Fixed asset and net profit will decrease by $1,000, right? Is it B? Fixed asset and net profit will decrease by $1,000. Current asset and net profit will increase by $1,000. Or D? Current asset and net profit will not be affected. All right, so we can eliminate E right away. All right, let's look at A. It says fixed asset and net profit will decrease by $1,000, and that will be so 48 would be A. Alright, so let's move on to 49, and it says that 49 refers to the following information. So it says now 49 to 50 rather refer to the following information. The balance brought forward was $60, check $90, unit trust and standing order $100, farmer on credit transfer, which is $30, and bank charges at $85. And now they asking now the balance as per bank statement was is it A, credit balance of $5, B, debit balance of $65, or is it C, credit balance of $125, or D, debit balance of $5? Now let us work it out. So all we have to do is to the balance brought forward plus this, and then we subtract. Right, so this 60 and 90, that's 50 plus 30, 180. So we have a debit balance of $5. Right, so let's move on to number 50. As it says, 49 and 50 refer to, right? Which of the following does this bank statement balance represent? Is it A, an overdraft, B, a direct debit, C, a credit transfer, or D, a dishonored check? And that is A, an overdraft. All right, let's move on to 51. When preparator withdraws cash or other assets from a business, what effect does it have on the capital? Is it A, drawings are decreased, B, capital is increased, C, neither drawing nor capital is affected, or D, capital is decreased? And that would be D, capital is decreased. So 51 would be D. Let's move on to 52. All right, so it says, which of the following account does not, notice the keyword does not have a credit balance. All right, so just remember the statement, which of the following accounts does not have a credit, which does not have a credit balance? Is it A, R. Smith supplier, B, rent received, C, bad debt recovered, or D, purchases? And it says does not, so that is purchases. Let's move on to 53. 53 said the closing stock at the year end is incorrectly valued. Which of the following will will be affected. A1, cost of sales. 2, gross profit. 3, net purchases. And 4, working capital. So if the closing stock at the year end is incorrectly valued, which of the following will be affected? 1, cost of sales. 2, gross profit. 3, net purchases. And 4, working capital. So 1 would be affected, the cost of sales. So you must include 1. So it's either A or C. The gross profit would be affected, definitely. The only one would not be affected is the net purchases. So this is the only one that would not be affected. So I'm going to go with C. So it's 1, 2, and 4. So let's move on to 54. Stone as a manufacturing business, its expenses are as follows. Factory lighting, $1,000. Factory wages, $2,000. Office salaries, $2,500. And general administrative expense, $4,000. How much is his total direct expense? And that would be the factory wages. So that is B. Let's move on to 55. Item 55 to 56 refer to the following balance taken from the books of Readers Limited on April 30, 1997. All right, and the balances are as follows. Rent owing, that's $200. Cash, $3,500. Creditors, $1,200. Prepaid insurance, $300. And bank overdraft, $400. Now, 55 says, what is the capital of Readers Limited? All right. So first, we start off with the cash, which is 35. Prepaid insurance, add that. So this gives us 38. And then now we can subtract the rent owing. Yeah, so these are expenses. The rent owing. So let's add that. The creditors, 1,200. And the bank overdraft of $400. So let's work out this and see what's to get. All right, so 6, that's 8. So that is $2,000. So 55 is the pay. So if you work out the $2,000, what is the current ratio of traders? And that is C2, 1 to 1. All right, so let's move on to 57. It says, in a factory, raw material used amount to $4,000. Manufacturing wages, let's underline this as a dollar. So that's 4,000. And other direct expenses of $400. What was the prime cost of the articles produced? So how much money did it take to produce this, right? So raw materials, we need that. So let me just add this 4,000 here. Manufacturing wages, that's how the people are working at the factory. So we need to add that also. And it says direct expenses amount to $400. So we add the 400. And then we break it. So this is our 600. And 4 plus 1, that's 5. All right, so that would be D, 5,600. If you're just joining, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so now. If you have not checked out part 1 and part 2, please do so now. All right, so 57 would be 5,600. All right, let's move on to 58. It says now, when 5% is added to the production cost of the value transferred to the trading account is 26,250. The gross trading profit is 6,500 and the expense total 5,500. Under which of the following conditions would the net profit be 2,250. Now let's go back. When 5% is added to the production cost, the value transferred in the trading account is 26,500. The gross trading profit is 65, and the expense total 55. Under which following condition will the net profit be 2,250? Okay. So is it A, inclusion of production profit, B, exclusion of production profit, C, inclusion of production cost, or is it E, exclusion of gross profit? And that would be C, inclusion of the production cost. So that one was really more content based. Right. Let's move on to 59. Yes, we are at 59. Which of the following would not be considered part of the prime cost of manufacturing goods? Is it A, office managers' wages, B, machine operators' wages, C, raw material use, or D, freight on raw material? Right, so let's go again. Which of the following would not be considered part of the prime cost of manufacturing goods? And that would be the office manager's wages. Right, so that would not be considered. Notice the keyword not. All right, so let's move on to number 60. Reach here quite fast. All right, so let's move on to item 6. And it says no. Item 6 refer to the following information. We give the opening stock, purchases, closing stock of raw materials, direct labor, factory overhead, opening stock of work in progress, closing stock of work in progress. And then say no. What is the cost of goods manufactured? This one is going to be tough. So it says, what is the cost of goods manufactured? Okay. So our opening stock, let's put in the ones that should go together. Purchases, stock, factory overhead, and our purchases. All right, so we're going to total these. It's 500, 2,000, 4, 5, and 3,000. Oh, there's another 2,000. All right. So this gives us a total of $12,000. This is 12,000. 1 and 3, that would be 4,000. See, it would be 8,000. Guys, I'm not well, so if you hear my voice on it, but just bear with. Alright. The following deductions are made from the salary of an employee, and it says income tax is 35%, national housing 2%, and education tax. Can you believe teachers have to pay education tax after we're giving so much to education? Yes, it's very unfortunate. All right, anyway, it says what is the total amount should be deducted from the employee's salary of 1,800 per month. All right, so this is his gross pay, and we're gonna find out how much tax should be deducted. What I would do is to add this 35 plus 2 plus 1 because there's no condition, right? So the total would be 38 of this, and that should give me total. So that's 38%. Percent out of 100. Guys, if you're just joining, like what, 1,800. These numbers look a little bit spooky. All right, so we divide by 10, divide by 10. So it would be 18 times 38. That would be our answer. Right, so let me just multiply that. 8864. It ended up 4. Wait, let me see something. The one that ended up 4 up here, so that would be it. If I just one number ended 4, let me just check. That's 88 or 64. Yeah, so that would be 684. you guys can multiply it to see if 38 times 18 and leave that in the comment section, all right? But I'm gonna go with C. It's a multiple choice. Once I get the 4 here, so 88, 64, you don't need to go any further, right? All right, so let's move on to 62. Being in exams is about being efficient, not about, you know. All right, so let's look at number 62. And it says, a club's income and expenditure account perform the same function as a firm's. Is it A, petty cash, B, trading and profit and loss account, or is it C, cash and bank accounts, or is it D, balance sheet? So let's read again. A club's income and expenditure account perform the same function as a firm. Is it A, petty cash, B, trading and profit and loss account, C, cash and bank accounts, or is it D, balance sheet? And that would be trading and profit and loss account. So 62 would be B. So we didn't do any calculation here. Let's move on to 63. A non-trading organization is mainly concerned with, is it A, making maximum profit for the proprietor, B, providing various service for its members, or is it C, importing goods for resale, or D, trading only with wholesaler? All right, so it says a non-trading organization. So that's the key word there. And that will be providing various service for its members. So that will be B. 63 would be it. All right, so let's move on to 64. It says a business incurred the following expenses. So factory repair, that's $6,000. Machinery repair, $2,000. Now new machine, $3,000. And the new motor vehicle, well, new vehicle, they didn't say motor vehicle, new vehicle, $7,000, right? And it says, what is the total capital expenditure? So that would be the new machine plus the new vehicle. So we're gonna total these, and that would give us $10,000, which is so 64 is D. All right, so let's move on to 65. The net profit of a firm was shown as $1,600 and was later discovered that the discount received were undercast by $10. So let me just underline these key things. We have not watched part 1 and them, right? And was later discovered that discounts were undercast by $100, $10 rather, and purchase were understated by $36. What was the correct net profit, right? So let us just check out that. All right, so we have $1,600. So it was the discount received were undercast. So we're gonna add the discount, which is $10, and then let's see what 36 were understated. So minus 36, right? And this should be also 610 minus 36, and that is 1,574. All right, so we have, it seems as if we have 265. So we just did 65, and it says item 65 right to the following information. All right, so we have 265. So let's just call this 165 2, and this is 65 1. All right. Item 65 2 refer to the following information. Provision for bad debts for the year is to be 8% of the closing debtors. All right. So the closing debtors total $9,000. The balance present in the provision of bad debt account is $900. What is the correct entry required? All right. So let us focus on the $8,000 and the $9,000. So we're gonna find 8% of $9,000 because they actually direct us to, and they say 8, right? So 2 zeros, we're gonna calculate T. So 800, 8.720. All right, so we get 720. We're not finished. That's just 80%. We'll say that the balance presently of the provision of bad debt account is 900. So we're gonna subtract 7, and that should give us 1. We're gonna account borrow 1, 8, that's 8, 7 from from 8, not the 1/8, right? So that would be C, provision for bad debt account 1/8, profit and loss 1/8. All right. So let's move on to 66. So 65 2 would be C. So there's 265. Let's move on to 66. Yeah, answer the call. All right, so item 66 refer to the following information, and it says now give the purchases, the carriage inwards to the record of closing. There's no money for that carriage inward account at the end of the period. Which account is represented by I? Okay, all right, good. All right, so totally understand now. We don't have to do any calculation for 66. And that would be, for this one, it would be trading. Income expense, profit and loss trading, and that would be trading. All right, so let's move on to 67. If you're just joining, hit the like button. All right, guys. If you have not subscribed, please feel free to do so now. All right, item 67 refer to the following information. What is the amount of insurance prepaid? All right, so let us examine the account. So we have insurance balance brought down to $7,000. The bank, $8,000. Profit and loss account, $8,100. And that will be the balance carried down to $600. So insurance we paid would be $600, and that was carried down. All right, so let's move on to 68. As I'm gonna try and do part 4. We have been separated, but I have to put out the effort still for those who want. So 68 says a suspense account shows a debit balance. Which of the following could give rise to such a balance? So a suspense account shows a debit balance. Which of the following could give rise to such a balance? Is it A, discount received was undercast in the cash book? B, the figure taken from the invoice is incorrect, but the postings are correct? C, the bookkeeping cannot find a sales invoice? Or is it B, cash received has been credited twice to the debtor's account? And 68, that would be D, cash received has been credited twice to the debtor's account. All right, so let's move on to 69. Guys, if you have not checked out part 1 and part 2, please feel free to do so now. All right, so let's move on to 69. And it says item 69 refer to the following information below. And this is extract from the payslip of D. Jones. So the net pay is $1,200, income tax $300, and national insurance $50. And it says, what is the gross pay? Sorry. What is the gross pay for Mr. B. Jones? All right, so the gross pay will be the total of these. All right, so let's add these. So it will be 1,200. This will give us 1,500 plus $50. So this would be, all right, so 69 rather would be. All right, let's move on to number 70. I'm gonna stop at 70 for today, guys. Just need to recuperate and think. Hit the like button if you're just joining. And it says item 70 refer to the following. 60, 70 and 71 refer to the following. All right, so let's check out this now. And it says I, Jones, utilize a cash book to record all transactions and analysis of the cash book at the year ended December 31st, 1999 shows. All right, so this one is going to be a bit tedious. So receipts from customers, that's 200,000. Cash to begin the business, which is a capital, that's 300,000. Payments for good bought, that's 90,000 rather. Electricity, these are expenses, 10,000. Rent, 5,000. Interest on loan, 1,000. Loan for the business, 100,000. And cash withdrawn to fix house, which is $8,000. Let's see what they want from us before. It says now, what is Jones' balance at December? What is Jones' balance at December 31st, 1999? All right, so let's just see what we're gonna group them. All the assets basically are cash inflows. So this is these are expense loan for the business. 100. So what I'm gonna do is to add these and subtract. All right, so let me just see if I can add up these. All right, so 2 and 3, 500. So that's 600,000. Let's see now, 90 and 10, that's 100,000. 106,000. 114,000. Let's choose. So choose 0 of a stand. A bit foolish, you know. We should just take 114 from 600. You know what them here. Alright, so 400. Say 5. Alright, so that's 6,198. Alright, so that's 486. Alright, and add the 0 now. So this is 486. So that's 486,000. Alright, so we need to be, and that will be on the debit side, right? So for 70 to be D as it's on the debit. Alright, so let's move on to 71, which will be the final one, since as it refers to that. So guys, check out my part 4. Definitely gonna try and do that. Alright. So 71 says, so we're gonna start at 72 next. What figure would appear in June's balance sheet as December 31st as the capital introduced during the year? Alright. Alright, cash to begin the business, so that would be $300,000. Alright, guys, if you have not checked out part 1, please do so now. Alright, part 1 and part 2, I'm not feeling well, but I'm gonna recuperate and do part 4, hopefully. At least I want to go to at least 100. So do stay tuned for part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please ensure that you are subscribed and your notification is on, so when I upload the video, you are able to see. Alright, welcome new subscribers, big up everyone. This is Mr. Bennett. I'm out for now. No doubt. See you guys in another video.